Hello, everybody. Welcome to Irongeek Cast number 156, Poe Poe. How's everybody doing tonight?
Pretty good. Got my monster.
Rawr.
So if I start reading way too fast, you know why.
There you go.
And I'm not sure if this is a new one.
A bit.
Not sure if this is a new flavor, but this is my new favorite.
What flavor is it?
Ultra Paradise. It is.
It sounds fruity.
It is very fruity, and I'm trying to figure out which fruit it is supposed to taste like.
Passion fruit.
No, dragon fruit. Actually, dragon fruit is awesome.
Dragon fruit is pretty good. That is a biggie in the Philippines.
Mm-hmm. There was one class that I was in. There was this older Filipino woman, and I was helping her out a lot in class because she was having
and when
issues.
you say older, since you're
50s.
on the younger side of the
50s.
age spectrum, I'm thinking you actually mean 20s.
Yeah.
50s.
No offense. Your wife would count as an older Filipino woman to him.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. No, and there was one day she just brought me like dragon fruit. I'm like, oh, dope.
I've had dragon fruit flavored stuff, but I never had dragon fruit itself.
Yeah. It's like this little red fruit that's got, and it's a shell, and then you pop it open, and then there's the fruit.
Yeah, I've never ate it. I've had it squeezed and had as a fresh juice before.
Yeah, it's kind of sweet, but there's not a lot of flavor to it.
Yeah,
it's pretty bland.
So I take it dragon fruit, does that come from the Philippines?
It's I don't think it's Filipino, but it's definitely from Southeast Asia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean they do grow them in the Philippines, but I don't think they're really known for it.
And I need to try running some Facebook posts from Filipino people I know, food translator, because I wonder what it's going to do. Because they have a tendency to write half a sentence in English,
yes,
and half a sentence in Tagalog.
Yes,
and I don't know how well the translators will work on that.
It all depends on the sentence. Sometimes it comes out perfectly, and I'm like, "Holy crap! I understand this whole thing." Then the next time, it's like you'll have 10 words that didn't translate at all, and you have zero clue what the sentence actually meant.
Yeah. Well, another translating problem I had recently was Facebook automatically translated a guy I know from down in Brazil, so Portuguese speaking. They posted something about this dish that looked really good, but it was called something like stuffed diaper. And apparently, diaper, the word for diaper, is similar to, or it is the same word that they use for I think it was strip steak or stripe steak or something like that.
Yeah.
Kind of steak, flank steak. I think it's the same thing as what we call flank steak. But for some reason, the word for that type of steak is very similar to the word for a diaper. So it's the same word, and that's
tasty.
It did look good. The food looked good. It was like cheese stuffed
tasty diaper
steak, but.
Well, that's like if you ever go to what do they call those things? A baby shower. One of the games that some of them like to do is to take diapers and then take the mini candy bars, melt them into the diaper. Then you have to sniff it and figure out what candy bar. But I tell you what, once you have a melted Snickers inside of a diaper, it looks just like the real thing.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
I've had a deep fried Snickers before.
I haven't had that. That sounds really good.
Really greasy too.
Oh, was it?
I mean, I think it's depending on who's cooking it. I don't think I've ever successfully deep fried something myself before, but I got this at a gaming convention.
Even like wings?
No, I've never deep fried wings. I think I tried something else, and I had a problem with getting the outside just right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we deep fry a lot of stuff, but since we are a little more on the health conscious side, we actually fry everything in coconut oil. So it's not too shabby.
I need to get back on a healthy side. Shit. I found a picture of me from 14 years ago, and damn.
I saw that.
I saw that one.
Fairly impressive pic. you had some size, not in like the bad way though.
I never did. Even at my smallest, I always had love handles though. Never
Yeah.
could get rid of those.
I thought the flip phone on the belt loop was a nice touch.
That was quality.
I was like, oh yes, it's from more than 10 years ago.
Yes.
This was normal.
Yeah, Cappy's like really excited because he's trying to bring that back. So,
Dude, I don't even have to do that. Fanny packs are a thing again.
that's just due to The Rock.
Well, and
No.
Joe Rogan too.
And who?
Joe Rogan.
Oh, yeah.
No. That was like two years ago now. Like right when I went to Europe, everyone had one. I was like, what in the world is
What, like in Europe or stateside?
Europe?
Oh, well, that's just messed up.
Yeah, and then it congregated to stateside, and I was like, all right, cool. Like the whole everyone, like I've seen like what people are wearing and what people think is fashionable from when I was in Europe. Now everyone now, like a year ago, had all of the stuff, whereas 2 years ago it was just Europe, and then so it takes like a year for it to happen here. But
I don't know anybody outside of Dirty who wears a fanny pack, and I don't even think he wears one consistently.
Just a
Yeah.
Derbycon.
Yeah.
Oh.
He wore one like at every conference I think I've ever seen him at, but that's about it. I think where he wears them. Maybe to the gym if he's. I won't get into that on air.
Darren, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing okay. Just took the whole week off work, so I'm kind of just chilling and doing really nothing at all.
Nice. Did you watch television or just like laid in bed the entire time staring at the ceiling?
Oh, I pretty much just sat in my house playing video games.
Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah.
my idea of vacation.
So you did something.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
video games, yeah, that's something.
Yeah, in some people's book.
Mhm.
If you enjoy it, it doesn't interfere with getting what
Making
you
money.
do to live.
Yeah. I mean, shoot, some of the Fortnite players, damn, that one boy, I think he's like 13, 14.
15.
Is he 15? And he
No.
made how many millions?
15.
15 million?
I can't remember. It was some stupid number,
Yeah.
but I just remember it being really, really, really dumb on how much he was able to make. So, meh. And also, like, there are people that will.
Oh, and weren't they like looking into him because weren't they claiming that he was cheating or using like cheat codes or something too?
Nah, I don't know. There was another guy.
Oh, that was another guy?
I just saw this today. There was another guy who had cheats, and he was on a team of players for the World Cup. It wasn't that same tournament, but there was a World Cup team that had one of their players kind of as a stand-in.
Yeah.
And he had cheats on his system, which then the actual guy who made the cheat and was the modder posted about it saying, "Hey, yo, this is effed up." I'm like,
Nice.
huh? Like, how? I actually like watched that video today while I was waiting for stuff to finish scanning at work. Yeah, it was weird. The guy had like recorded. He knew who this guy was from the get-go, so he recorded the conversations and everything, and like showed the PayPal statement. Apparently, it was only like $60.
Ah.
I'm like, wow, okay. That's nuts. There's also a couple other instances of like, I think it was Optic India or one of their teams, international teams. They had been disqualified because one of their players had cheats on his system. And that was it.
Wow.
Like,
and not necessarily even utilizing them. Just
no, he was using them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he used them, and it tipped off the anti-cheat stuff that was in the tournament, and so tournament officials ran to his computer, and you can see him in the recording just like spamming delete. I was like, wow, okay, yeah, you're screwed. The rest of the team, they're all like, yeah, they all got like a 6-month ban from any sort of tournaments.
That sucks. Yeah. Anytime I hear of cheating on video games, like the movie sucked, but I always remember Pixels. You guys remember that? Where the little dude had his glasses on, and he had all the cheat codes on the inside of his sunglasses, and was throwing all those into like Miss Pac-Man or something, or Pac-Man regular or something like that. But fun times. Jack, how was your week?
It was good.
And there we go. The autobiography straight from Jack.
Jack, a memoir titled "It's Good."
It's good.
On the inside, the first page, it's only a 1-page memoir. Yeah, it's aight.
Nah, it's like 500-600 pages, but every page says it's good.
We good.
Yeah. So
I just saw the replay on the stream, and it's like, it's good. Then go back.
Nice. So I'm kind of happy. I have a 48-port switch coming. I have a Cisco Nexus, so it has 48 gigabit ports, 4 10 gig ports, and 2 40 gig ports that I got at a pretty good price. So I'll be updating my home stuff here very shortly. I'm going to be meeting a guy probably on Friday or Saturday who is pulling 2200 VA APCs, and no battery, but he's going to be selling. He's validating their in working condition because he's pulling them from a live environment legally, not illegally. But he's going to be selling those for like $100 a piece, and then batteries for those cost like $70-$80. So, and right now those UPSs are about double that if you are getting, and these are 5-6 years old, but it's still easily double that in the 400 to 500 plus range once you have the batteries fully populated. So I'm starting to do happy dances over here because I get to do some upgrades very, very soon.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Show notes. What do we got in announcements?
Just that I was listening to dual core while I was adding to the show notes, so that's why some of them are interesting.
And I got one in here. Hoosier HackerCon CFP is open for anybody who wants to submit to that. That's September 25th through the 27th of this year in glorious Jeffersonville, Indiana. Essentially Louisville, Kentucky for all practical purposes.
Yeah. But, take a rock, throw it over the river, and there you are.
Well, I mean, it'll be a mile long throw, so I mean, you better have a strong arm.
You better be athletic.
Exactly.
I was about to say, I'm like, that's a very long throw.
No,
Okay,
No, I'm just saying at that point it's a mile.
Yeah,
Mhm.
maybe a frisbee golf disc then.
Rocket powered football.
Yeah, I wonder how far across is that? About 3 blocks.
No, it's a mile.
What?
It is. The river's about a mile across.
Yeah, at that point, because it's the widest it is on the entire length of the Ohio. It's at that
Really?
point. Yeah.
I had no clue it was that wide. Huh. Is that the exact point where a bridge is going a mile, or were they smart and take a bridge where it was more condensed? Like, is the bridge a mile long, or is it a little ways up or down from it being a mile wide?
Let me Google Maps it real quick.
I would say if anything, it's going to be just over a mile at the bridge.
Wow. That's crazy. I had no idea.
Yeah.
So we're talking. Yeah. Okay. I'm looking at that bridge, and let's say I want to go from here
To here.
to
There. No, say there.
there.
Yeah, say there. Good.
Wait. What? The no.
Say you want to do it by helicopter.
Right. So I want to go from there to across.
Failed to start.
Live streaming is on.
Oh, wait, now it says it's back.
Okay.
It's currently sitting and spinning with a little wheel on YouTube, and now it seems to be going.
Might be a YouTube problem then.
Are we back? I think we're.
Yeah.
I think we're back. Yeah. So it's about 0.4 miles from the edge of the bridge to. Okay, so like the bridge, like where it actually starts, like if you get on 65 in Jeffersonville, like right off 71, and you just get off the interstate and to go across the bridge,
Yeah,
it's a half mile until you're like back over land.
Huh.
At that Jeffersonville bridge. However, there's
two Jeffersonville bridges technically.
Yeah, however, that's what I was about to get to. If I go from the second bridge to the Clark Memorial Bridge, and then grab this, that is about 0.7 miles.
Oh, okay. Yeah, those are both long-ass bridges.
Yeah, but that one you gotta go up to Maine, and that one doesn't. Is that a one-way? No, that's not one way, is it?
No, it's a two-way bridge.
Yeah, I'm like, no, like there's no way that's a one-way. But yeah, you have to go up Main Street and then past Troll under the bridge, or where that stadium is.
Yeah, Second Street between Troll under Pub and Yum Center, which is Second Street.
Yeah.
Yum.
Yum Center. Yeah. I was trying to remember the name of it just by looking at it. I'm like, what is this? It's been a while. I'm excited to go back, even though it's like 7 months away.
True that.
Cool. Well, we can hit the show notes.
Yuppity-doo-dah.
Sure.
Breach report.
So I didn't actually add anything in this week, so I've been lazy. Cappy, how much of this did you add?
This was all Trez.
All right, I'll just wing these. So
well, I am familiar with a couple of them, like this first one that we have. Gas pipeline shut down by ransomware. There actually has been some chatter that this was nation state potentially, but since I haven't, because I was listening on that side of it, so I haven't been fully in this article. So, according to the technical alert from DHS's Cybersecurity and Infrastructure (CISA), The ransomware was not named, but described as a commodity type designed to infect Windows systems rather than the new one for ICS. Let's see. Did they say what state or gas line this actually attacked?
Pulling it
Not
up.
seeing it in here. But I think it was something out west. But yeah, there was blah 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 blah. Yeah, not a lot of information, at least within this article.
Yeah, not a lot of meat there in terms of.
Yeah, so a couple things from CISA. The victim failed to implement robust segmentation between the IT and OT networks, which allowed the adversary to traverse the IT-OT boundary and disable assets on both networks. Threat actor used commodity ransomware to that sucks. Like, it was essentially off-the-shelf ransomware to compromise Windows-based assets on both IT and OT. Assets impacted on the organization's OT network include HMIs, data historians, and polling servers. Because the attack was limited to Windows, PLCs responsible for directly reading and manipulating physical processes at the facility were not impacted. That's good. Victim was able to obtain replacement equipment and load last known good configs, which is good. All OT assets directly impacted by the attack were limited to geographic facility, so that's good too. So it was limited in the range and amount that it could actually attack. And honestly, that's kind of poor planning on their side, because it sounds like they could have completely annihilated this company, whoever they are, and the company just kind of fell on dumb luck.
This sounds like a segmentation stop. So since it was just one regional office.
Yeah.
The other part of it that's mentioned in the actual alert, and I'll post that in YouTube. So it did say that a cyber threat actor used a spear phishing link to obtain initial access to the organization's information technology network before pivoting to its OT network. The threat actor then deployed commodity ransomware to, quote, encrypt data for impact on both networks. Specific assets experiencing a loss of availability on the OT network included human-machine interfaces, HMIs, data historians, and polling servers. Impacted assets were no longer able to read and aggregate real-time operational data reported from low-level OT devices. So basically, sensors to controllers to PCs to your user network to your IT network. All that shit no worky is what that means. But yeah, the thing I posted in chat goes a little bit more in depth into it than that infosecurity-magazine.com article. So, which is linked to in that article itself as well.
There you go.
Woot.
Next up, Citric was breached for 5 months. And I think we've covered this in the past, but Krebs had another article, it looks like, on it.
Today.
Yeah. Whoa. Wait. It says February 20th on the article. And according to my watch, it's February 19th.
No. It's 19th of February 20.
Oh, damn it. Okay. Wow. I should start drinking.
Start?
Yeah, why in America do we do the dates the way we normally do? Because it makes so much more sense to do like day, month, year.
Yeah, it's a volume of days.
Well, yeah, and two, I'm used to year, month, day, and so I looked at the. I didn't even look and pay attention to the 19.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, you're correct. Year, month, days.
Yeah, and so I saw the 19th up there, not even paying attention. Then February 20th. It's like
clearly it should be month, year, day, or day, year, month.
Epoch. Everyone has to understand epoch time. Fuck you guys.
Down to millisecond resolution. Yes.
I tell you what, I wish that it was more standardized whenever it comes to different items, though. Too.
Epoch's a standard.
Yes, it is, but it's not fully adopted though either. Because you still have to end up going in and doing time date conversions because somebody somewhere is going to do something abnormal.
No, it takes up less space. And then when you need to pull records, then you do it. Then you do the conversion. When you're just saving data, it doesn't make sense to do the conversion.
To Epoch, it does.
From Epoch. No, if you're
Wait,
already
are we streaming or no?
We are streaming.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. My error messages were delayed.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Charles, what are your opinions on Epoch?
What are my opinions on Epoch?
Oh yeah. Best thing since Betty White.
You know what? I have no opinion. All I can say is thank you for being a friend.
See, there you go. Hey, and we all appreciate you telling us good night whenever you go to bed. That's by far the perfect ending to every day.
Oh, I feel I'm blushing right now. No, man, with everything that happens in the news, I always want to tell my friends good night. And that's just me.
And good riddance. I mean, good night.
I didn't say good riddance. I said, you want to tell your friends good night and you want to check on your friends.
There you go.
So that's what I do.
That's
yeah. So excuse me for being mushy.
Oh, that's what we're trying to do. So Liz and Charles, how have your weeks been? Oh, that good, huh?
It's been awesome.
Oh, okay.
One week has been awesome. Had I've been doing like streaming in the middle of the day with the Hacker Planet stuff. That's been going pretty well. I'm actually streaming tomorrow at 2 p.m.
Nice.
on OSINT, offensive OSINT.
Nice.
Cool.
So it's just going to be from a standpoint of, because I run into a lot of people and they say that they'll say OSINT, but they really don't know. They want to know, what does it look like? A lot of people say the buzzword, but they don't really know what it looks like. And it's more than just downloading a VM with a bunch of tools, but they have the tools, but you still don't know what you're looking at or what you're looking for. So with tomorrow's, it's just part one of offensive OSINT, pretty much just showing you how you get your browser ready. Because all you really need to start an investigation is a browser, Firefox mainly, and a couple of plugins, and you start on your journey. And I'm actually going to show you a couple of sites. Now, I was a little wary about how I was going to do this, so I'll probably just do a search on myself. Nothing too crazy, but when I get to certain sites, I'm just going to be like, here's what you would do if you're looking for the target. I'm not going to actually go in and look for the target and, lie. I'm not going to do that. That's a no-no. So.
Why, Charles? What do you have to hide?
I don't have anything to hide, but I just think
you sit on the throne of lies.
Well, no. I'm an open book. Everybody, just go to my Facebook and you'll see what I'm talking about. I'm an open book.
Oh, you don't put anything on there about you. You just repost.
Pretty much everybody knows about me.
So you repost some of the funkiest stuff I've ever seen. I'm like, my mom would be like, "Hey, is Charles one of your nice friends? Like, that I would like his page?" No, hell no.
It's like, nicest guy in the world. Do not look at his Facebook.
Exactly.
I think the world just needs to laugh and soften up. That's why I put this stuff out here.
It's like between you and between you and Jack's Facebook. It's like, oh God, I can't show any of this.
Wait a minute. I rarely post anything.
Yeah,
on my
Jack's
Facebook.
over here. Wait, what I do?
Before Facebook jail. Before Facebook jail was a thing, it was like, oh.
But
your comments and Charles is his reposts. It's like, oh, I can't.
What are you talking about my comments? What are you?
Kobe.
Yeah, your comments do be classic though. I'm like,
What comments are you guys talking about?
I love steak, like Kobe. Steak.
Yeah, like when I posted a picture of Ludacris with the fake Kobe thing.
That was funny. Oh my gosh, dude, that was so messed up.
Dude, I didn't do it. Whoever drew that thing on it and told him that.
I mean, I feel less sorry for Ludacris. I feel more sorry for the kid that they were showing that it actually looked like him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Hey, I didn't do it. I'm just a messenger.
I mean, because Ludacris could have said, "Oh hell no, I'm not wearing that."
Exactly, he should have.
Yeah,
I don't know.
What if it
was a 15-year-old kid in need, and he was just trying.
Hey, that could be true too. We'll never know. And just like, okay, the video with the guy, we thought he was jerking off, but it was the dog just acting up.
Oh, see, that was hilarious.
I'm just saying that's stuff like that. So anybody out there, my Facebook is an open book. I just must warn you that you're gonna see some wild, funny stuff. I don't post politics at all.
Yeah, no politics, but
yeah,
it's not necessarily always funny. There's some cringe there too. So
well, I post. Oh, I see something sad or crazy, I'll post it because people need to know. Like
exactly.
Yeah.
The cringiest thing is when he sends something to us in group chat because that's when you know that it's not good for Facebook.
Oh yeah.
OSINT Adventures 101.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, something you just run into, Hey, one morning you might get a picture of me with a mushroom on my head. I mean,
Yeah, and then you go to his LinkedIn, and that shows up as his LinkedIn profile picture. So.
Oh, I would put that as my LinkedIn picture. I am not nervous about that.
See, give Charles about 3 minutes here. That LinkedIn profile picture is going to be updated.
I'm constantly checking it now. I've got it.
Look, look at the Power Rangers drinking. I mean, the Power Rangers when they were drinking and doing stuff. I didn't post that. Somebody else put that up there.
Yeah, you were like, ooh, man, you were just salivating over that one, weren't you?
I guess. Look at the guy that got hit in football and the guy's clothes that got thrown outside.
Holy crap. Charles, I definitely want you to post that one.
Which one?
As your LinkedIn. You are, dressed to the nines right now on LinkedIn. You definitely need to fund that up a little bit.
What? You're talking about with the
Yes.
Oh, it's cool. Hold on.
Are you planning on changing jobs in the next year?
What, am I?
Yeah.
No, but even if I was, it's just like, hey, this is me.
Good. Post that new pic on there.
Yeah.
For sure, the best LinkedIn profile has to go to my boss before he had to kind of like tone it down.
Really?
You know how like LinkedIn's got your skills section?
Yes.
As a joke, he put. I'm sad that I don't have screenshots of this. but he had murder, ballet dancing, and then all of his security ones just like thrown there.
Wait,
Nice.
he had what on there? Hold on.
Murder.
Oh my goodness. What was going on?
Yeah, I'm still trying to get some people to endorse a couple of my skills. I mean, I got cat herding, eating bacon, dank memes.
On your LinkedIn?
Yeah,
Here's the thing, though.
but nobody will endorse those.
5 people endorsed it.
Oh, that's awesome.
One of them being Jason Street. Which I'm like, all right, this is fine.
Hold on. Grab this. Adjust.
Oh, am I not? Oh, there we go.
Use photos.
Yeah, somebody was asking me for a professional headshot last week. I was like, have you looked at my LinkedIn? That's by far the closest you will ever get.
And apply change. There we go. Save. There we go.
All right, I am waiting for.
Ooh, awesome. Loving it.
And refresh.
Sweet.
Went from like, I'm gonna be in the board meeting to, hey, look.
Hey man,
Let's see if we can hack Charles's LinkedIn. Let's see if Charles, there's no fun skills on here. This is all technical.
What am I supposed to put up there?
I don't know. A sheep wrangler, termite inspection.
Why don't I put
whatever you want?
Why don't I put Prince jeans with the butt hanging out?
Well, if you can get a picture in there, that would be awesome. We should suggest that to Microsoft. I mean LinkedIn, that they allow us to do GIFs and pictures within the skills side.
Just realized I haven't updated my picture in 2 years.
Oh, so that's back when you were like 10.
Yo,
That's
I'm getting
awesome.
I'm getting IMs.
One of them's from me.
Oh, somebody said, holy shit. It's like, dude.
I am such a big fan of peer pressure.
I don't care about that. Like I rarely even log into this thing. Like, realistically.
I log in and reply back to recruiters, say, sorry, I'm not interested at this point. If I find somebody who would be decent for the role, I'll let you know.
Well, you know what? Maybe I'll put this picture of the recruiters that kind of just chill because they send so many different things.
Yeah, it's
just I'm not looking to go nowhere right now. Spider Lab's just treating me like, and I love it.
Excellent.
Ow!
And two, if anybody listening is a hiring manager, or not a hiring manager, but in management, keep an eye on your employees' LinkedIn's. If you start to see them actively updating that, guess what's around the corner?
Stop.
not your employees staying with your organization.
Why are you snitching for, man?
Yeah. Tell about them.
He's snitching.
Can be a good thing. If they already have that information, they can potentially go work on raises, work on bettering the work condition, whatever the issue is, why they want to leave and go somewhere else. They can potentially address that.
Yeah, they can fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And two, those are things that all managers should be aware of. I have known tons that just have no clue and aren't aware of some of these subtle items. But that's not even subtle. That's like
printing off resumes on the corporate printer.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm gonna,
Asking if you'll be a reference for an interview.
but here's the other thing with that too. And granted, I am very new into this, the whole corporate corporate world. But if you are a manager and if you don't know that people are thinking of leaving, there's something else going on there.
Well,
Like
I
they're
mean,
not telling you.
one person leaving or a couple, say from a percentage perspective, if like 5% or 10% at max, are leaving, people want to move and grow and develop. And if they feel they can't, they're going to move on. If management sucks, they're going to move on. So if it's a small percentage, it may not be necessarily an issue. They just think that they can get better advancement elsewhere, or two, money. If it's an entry level or say second, third, say they're like 60 grand range or 70 and they have a couple years experience in networking or systems administration, and then somebody else is out here offering 80, they're going to bail on that immediately.
Yeah, they are.
So
Sorry, I just saw something on LinkedIn that my friend or my Dutch friend liked.
Uh-oh.
Oh God.
Sophia, you're boring. I'm just kidding. We like you, Sophia.
So I'm not gonna. It's on. F it. It's on LinkedIn. Hang on. Share screen. So where are we at?
Sophia says you're boring.
Yeah,
Who
so
says-
Sophia said that Caprico is boring.
Mm.
I know you weren't directing that towards me.
Mhm.
Cappy,
I'm
I'm joking.
boring.
She just said you're boring, and didn't say who. So
yeah. Anything wrong in this
Nice.
picture?
I like it.
Mm.
Ooh.
And hopefully that's not segmented, and that has direct access, straight to the server side too.
Yeah, that's
That's really the hope and
We're
dream.
all hoping it's a flat network.
Yeah.
that's yeah, that's the Dutch police, by the way. So wherever that office is, and it's on LinkedIn. Yeet.
I like it.
I
like it. I like it a lot.
A lot.
Okay, what do we have up next?
Did we cover the Citrix thing? We didn't really cover the Citrix thing because everyone kind of joined in.
Yeah, we didn't really cover it. I mean, they were compromised a while back. They were compromised for a very extensive amount of time. I don't know what new information is in here that we didn't previously cover in months past.
Like password spraying. In a statement released at the time, Citrix said it appears hackers, quote, may have accessed and downloaded business documents, and that it was still working to identify what precisely was accessed or stolen.
Yeah, maybe that, because we knew that hackers had infiltrated Citrix in the past, but maybe we didn't know exactly what they were able to get. And so maybe we're starting to see a glimpse into that.
So here's something that might not have been discussed. Iranian hackers recently have been blamed for hacking VPN servers around the world in a bid to plant backdoors in large corporate networks. A report released this week, which is a PDF PDF link in that article, the Krebs Security article by the firm Clear Sky, details how Iran government's backed hacking units have been busy exploiting security holes in popular VPN products from Citrix to other software firms. NordVPN comes to mind for that as well. So among VPN flaws, Citrix VPN servers dubs shit tricks by some of the security community.
As well as we did on the cast.
Yeah, I mean, like, you see it, and I'm like, all right, let's go. It's shit tricks now.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't we? That's yeah.
given how horrible that Vuln was, I mean, due to horrible coding practices and their fucking god awful patch, yeah, I think it deserved to be constituents.
Well, they didn't have a patch for it, and until like a month or so later, and they had a workaround, but you had to apply the workaround.
But that workaround wasn't applicable to every build, though. Either.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like, if you get up to this build, then there's a workaround. Until you get there, you are shit out of luck.
It's like, oh, you're SOL.
Yeah.
All right. So next up, we have data breach leads to unauthorized access to information of 7,500 patients in Iowa healthcare facility. All right, let's take a look at this one. I'm actually going to move some of my tabs around so I can actually see chat. Unblock ads. Fun.
Don't do that.
Hang on.
Why would you ever?
Because I can't read it.
Block an ad.
All right. More than 7,000 patients of a South Central Iowa medical center have been notified that their personal information has been leaked in a data breach. Monroe County Hospital and Clinic said in a news release Monday that approximately 7,500 people were notified that the breach may have led to unauthorized access of their individual health information. These people were also given instructions about how to monitor their credit scores in the event of their information was stolen. That's not health information, dude. Yo, okay, by the way, this is an article written by Tyler J. Davis at the Des Moines Register. Officials learned that, quote, one or more unauthorized individuals, end quote, outside of the healthcare organization had access to several employees' email accounts between October 28th, 2019 and January 20th, 2020. So that's about close to 3 months. Affected patients' full names, date of birth, addresses, insurance information, and clinical information, such as the reason for a visit, could have been accessed as the result of a breach. Some people's social security numbers may have also been accessed, the organization said. As a result of a breach, all MCHC employees had to reset their email
social security numbers. Oh, wait, yeah.
There's no way to do that. Yeah, email. Ugh. Officials notified patients by mail. The release states investigators are still monitoring and reviewing compromised accounts. Those whose social security numbers, driver's license numbers.
So we got driver's license now too.
Or financial account information where access will receive separate notification in writing.
Yes, the begging, please don't sue us notification.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, boy. So people with questions or concerns can call the number that's posted there, confidential toll-free hotline available from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday. So if you are in Iowa and you were affected or you have gone to something within the Monroe County Hospital and Clinics, I would give them a call at the very least just to check.
Yeah, they'll at least tell you how you can get some free credit reporting.
Yeah, credit monitoring.
Monitoring.
Reporting, you can get good.
Oh,
that's like getting
gosh,
credit.
That is just...
I don't know. I mean, you could just monitor your credit. I don't know if there's any sort of downside to
I've
that.
never been to a medical location. Well,
I've never gone to a doctor.
Go to medical locations, so I guess that was an accurate statement. But whenever my wife was having a child, we went through, or multiples, went to a lot of different medical places, and never once did she ever submit a driver's license. I'm kind of curious as to why they had driver's license information. The social, yeah, I get that. But
maybe if they were going under and they had to keep a log of whose driver's license it was, or it had to match some sort of, or you needed to have the ID to match the insurance that you were using.
I mean, I could understand a match, a visual match, but this makes me think maybe they actually like copied it.
Yeah, every time Every time
Something
I've
like
gone to the doctor, they've scanned my ID whenever I had a new insurance card.
Yeah, but that's an ID. I'm talking driver's license, though.
Yeah, driver's license.
What? Really?
Yeah.
I'm not coming. I'm not going to a doctor in your state. Then screw that. Okay.
No, I mean, like, how many, like, after like 8 credit monitorings, do you get a free soda or something?
Yeah, you should at least get like a T-shirt.
Is there? Can we, dude?
I mean,
we should
need,
totally
like, a
make
stamp
that.
card.
Go.
Because, like,
Yeah, Liz.
my father has like 5 letters saying free credit monitoring. Just the fuck does it even mean anymore for him?
Yeah,
Liz,
I've been
totally-
part of 5 breaches, and all I got was this lousy T-shirt. That would be pretty awesome.
Liz, we totally need to make that punch card now, like the data breach punch card. But we should also make a data breach bingo. So
Ooh, yeah, that would be good.
yeah, so like what we could actually play this on the cast. Like what information was stolen, working to fix the problem, shit tricks, phishing. Like as we're like reading through it, that would be actually really fun. Bingo! Or no, it's called breach, so you have to yell breach instead of bingo. That would be dope, actually.
That should be called front doors and breaches.
Yeah, no. Different game.
No, I mean, because that's different than their game. But this would be front door, you know? Could be fun.
Email servers and credit monitoring.
I like it. Okay, what's up next? Israeli catfish.
Nope, you missed one.
I missed. Oh, I did miss a fairly large one.
1.7
million Ned Bank customers affected by a third-party breach.
Let's take a look at this one. Vulnerability in the network of marketing contractor computer facilities led to a breach at the South African bank. Ned Bank, one of South Africa's largest financial institutions, last week disclosed a security incident affecting the personal data of 1.7 million past and current customers. The breach started with a quote data security issue at the computer facilities, a third-party marketing contractor Ned Bank was using to send SMS and email marketing information. This is what they said in a statement. Ned Bank identified vulnerability as part of its routine monitoring procedures. Once it was discovered, officials alerted the service provider and launched an investigation. I'm just looking to see what was all compromised. A subset of the compromised data includes personal information like names, ID numbers, telephone numbers, physical addresses, and or email addresses of some Ned Bank clients. So phishing and phone phishing galore coming at you if you're in South Africa.
It sounds like they had a good point, but also a fail. So it sounds like the good thing, they were able to detect it, it looks like, pretty quickly. The bad part sounds like they were on a fairly flat network and didn't have segmentation in place.
Yeah, and out of those 1.7 million, 1.1 million of those are active users and actively have an account. Shoot.
Yeah, personally. I wonder what the ID number is. I wonder if that's like our
government ID,
social security number. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm kind of figuring.
Yeah, it's probably the South African government ID of some sort.
Yeah.
I had one of those when I went to
a South African government ID.
No, not the South African one.
I'm really hoping you had.
If I were to go to South Africa to work and I got a work visa, then yes, I would need to get one of those, and that's like the same stuff that we talked about it after the cast last week.
Yes.
All right. So next up, we've got hacker group catfishes Israeli soldiers into installing a mobile rat, and I call this Israeli catfish.
Oh, you threw this on?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, good.
This was my one in the breaches because I thought it was kind of funny-ish. So a hacking group compromised mobile phones belonging to soldiers of the Israeli Defense Force using pics of young girls and directing them to download malware disguised as chat apps. Behind this endeavor is an actor identified as APT-C-23. I'm just going to call it C-23 from now on. Known for cyber attacks in the Middle East and associated with the Hamas militant group. And the article here goes into the different data profiles and whatever. They even posted up on their Twitter saying Hamas created fake social media profiles using photos, including this one, and in the article they have it posted there as well, in an attempt to hack phones of IDF soldiers. What Hamas didn't know was that Israeli intelligence caught onto their plot, tracked the malware, and downed Hamas hacking system. In Israeli counterintelligence, you hack us, we pwn you.
Yeah, I actually forgot that I had seen this because it was interesting because they were attempting to hack the Israelis, but the Israelis picked up on it and pwned their ass. It's like nice.
In a joint operation dubbed quote Rebound, IDF and Israel security agency ISA, aka Shin Bet, took down the infrastructure of the threat actor.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, this ain't real. Cyber nuke their ass.
Like I don't know this chick. I'm gonna send this to some other people to check out.
There's probably like one guy in the Israeli military who's like, shit.
Yeah, there's always that first one.
First, second, 400th.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you have to look at it from the threat vector side.
Oh yeah.
If you start pwning soldiers' phones, then guess what? You don't need to worry about their movements because you're going to have their movements.
Oh yeah. Always disable your GPS because it obviously can't be re-enabled.
And take off your Fitbit when you get deployed.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, short little PSA. Just Signal is better than WhatsApp.
What is this an argument or is
No.
this? Oh, okay.
No, PSA. Just Signal's been getting a lot of heat lately from governments saying like, "Hey, can you like give us a backdoor because we can't see anything that are like China, like the Chinese government, Russia, like all, the Fab Five, so to speak, or the information perusers, I guess." Anyway, the article just goes into stuff that the creator and developer of Signal has been trying to do, and that's just make it so that everyone in the masses has a way to have encrypted communication that is away from any sort of government backdoors or anything like that. So it kind of just outlines it there. And since WhatsApp now is owned by Facebook as of like a year and a half ago now, no.
I mean, when you had one of the creators of WhatsApp leave Facebook early before $50 million of his shares were fully vested, and tweeting out delete Facebook, it's in all but saying, well, no, he didn't all but say. He said all the people who evangelized end-to-end encryption where Facebook could not break it and parse for ads have left. Things are looking very bad for privacy encryption. Assume it's broken. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
There's also another platform that I use personally, and it's actually from the Same dev team who originally started Skype before Microsoft bought it. They all left because Microsoft started doing the same thing that they're doing to WhatsApp, and they started this project, which is called Wire, and it's like a Slack clone almost, but you can do calls, video calls, chat, same way that you do normally, but it's all done through end-to-end encryption.
Is it a freebie?
Yes. So you can make a personal account, and you have up to 5 devices that you can have it on. I have it on my personal computer. We use it at work, and I have it on my phone. It's great most of the time. There are some things with notifications that they still need to work out, but it is in beta or alpha or whatever, so they are still actively working on it, which is great. I loved old Skype when it was like not Microsoft. So good on those developers.
Is it hosted cloud side, or do you host it within your own infrastructure?
I think it goes through their infrastructure right now.
Okay.
They haven't made a option to do scratch that. They might have, because there is a professional account, which I think they could give you a dedicated server, but I don't know because I don't pay for it. It works for what we need it to do. So
throw it in the show notes. Let's check it out at some point.
Yeah, I'll just throw it down. Wire. Yeah, app.wire.com. Oh, that's not it. I just want wire.com. They somehow got wire.com, although it's, yeah. Here we go. Throwing it into the show notes. I use it on my computer, and it's great. Not having to worry about it, and I feel like it works better than Skype and even some of the more like AAA like comm apps or bridge apps.
Cool.
The only thing that's an iffy issue is notifications from different devices, because you'll get it on one device, but you'll not get it on another. And then sometimes you'll just get all of your notifications at once on all of your devices. So there's some socket issues that are happening, which there's a pull request that's still there, I think.
Gotcha. Oh, do they have a community edition, or is it fully subscription based?
No. So if you go to I think the only thing you need is an account, or you could even build from their source. So
okay.
Yeah, so you can build from source on GitHub, I think.
Gotcha.
So on GitHub as well, they've got their repository public. So it's an open source project right now.
Nice.
And it's all the guys that did Skype. So, or some of the guys that did Skype originally. And they wanted to make an end-to-end encryption app. So, just PSA, start getting end-to-end encryption. There's a couple of different options. Signal and Wire are kind of my two, depending on the person that you have to talk to and what their preference is and whatever, and blah, blah, blah. I have both. But vulnerable stuff, and speaking of WhatsApp, jump right in here once the page loads. So, a new WhatsApp security flaw makes the desktop version vulnerable to remote takeover via malicious messages. Again. This was posted yesterday. If you use WhatsApp on your desktop or laptop, okay, you'll definitely want to update to the latest version as soon as possible. Researchers have found a new WhatsApp security flaw that allows remote access to your computer via nothing more than a message with some code snippets in it. Once you open one of these messages, the WhatsApp security flaw enables hackers to both rifle through your account and remotely access files on your PC. Okay. So what's up with WhatsApp? If your WhatsApp client isn't updated to the latest version of whatever it is in the article there, I'm not going to read out that number. Definitely do not open messages from anyone you don't know and trust. Simply opening the message can be enough for the new WhatsApp security flaw to be exploited. So we've seen this a lot, and I'm starting to think maybe this was the thing that Bezos got hit with. Sure.
Could be.
What? Because it was a WhatsApp thing, right?
Yeah. Or at least similar.
Yeah, similar for sure. So the bug at the root of the WhatsApp security flaw traces back to Google's Chromium framework. So it's not even just a WhatsApp issue; it's a Chromium issue, which underpins WhatsApp. A similar flaw in Chromium was discovered by security researchers and patched out some time ago, but WhatsApp uses a variant framework called Electron that is apparently still running on old Chromium code. So dependency fails.
Awesome.
You know, that would be something that would be solved by something later on. That it's like, it's like test-driven development. That would maybe help. I don't know. We'll get into that later. All right. Next up is one I did not put in. I just threw that WhatsApp one before this one because it was a segue. All right. Pen testing ships. What is this? 1995, and hackers just released.
A year of owning these. Cliche hacker, blah, 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 blah. Evaluating the security of ships. We've been involved in all sorts of ship testing. Here are a few examples. Moss Maritime, Neo Panamax, Resupply, Seabed. Yeah, I mean, ships still are going to have, and I don't know the full purpose of this article. I think it's kind of a guide. If you are attacking something that is, say, a ship, they're still going to have standardized computer systems on them. It's like having a manufacturing company just about, but it's floating around the world. So, you're still going to have vulnerabilities. They're going to have limited internet-based connectivity, which means updates to the systems are going to be slower. And these are maybe addressed in the article. I don't know. I'm thinking off the top of my head. Because they're going to be using satellite-based internet. So, and two, judging by a couple of the pictures they have in this article.
Not aggressive creatures, miss.
I don't know why. I don't know. I hate autoplay.
Mankind, rather.
What the hell? Pause.
Wow. Are you watching some good old Mary Poppins there?
No. I found this article, which I'm just going to put in as a great example of trolling towards the end.
Nice. But at least based upon the picture of this monitor they have, some of their gear may be up to 15 to 20 years old. But yeah, just like any other kind of industry vertical, ships and...
I have that monitor somewhere.
Oh, really? Like, how old is it? Was I close? In the 15 to 20 range?
What I used to have that monitor. It's an HP something, and it's a 1600 by 1200 resolution monitor, and I don't know the model number of it, but it's in my parents' basement right now. The only reason I know what that is it's the same button.
So technically, that monitor was actually built most likely before you were even born.
You cut out there. It might have been just on my side, but it sounded like you cut out there.
Oh, well, I was saying the monitor was built before you were even born. Yeah.
So like 10 years ago, probably. Because I was about That was about 12, yeah, so about 10 years ago when we had that monitor. So a little over 10 years old. Another thing on it is apparently there's a SATCOM or a hidden SATCOM with a root SSH account that has default creds on some ships.
Makes sense.
By the way, there is a ship tracker on Shodan.
Ooh. I wonder. Nobody's put that into a graphical interface, have they?
Shodan did.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, hang on, let me pull it up. Shodan. Shodan 3D. Thought they did. Hang on. ICS maps. I swear they had a ship thing. Hang on. I swear they did. Shodan ship tracker. Yeah. Where is it at? Give me the link. I guess you could. You could like point to point it. It was in an article. So if you use ship tracker, you can point to point it based on headers, I guess, in an IP if it's externally facing.
Okay.
Yikes. So you could Shodan's graphical ship tracker. Yeah, give me the freaking link.
And apparently there's like vesselfinder.com and
Yeah.
marinetraffic.com. We're
Yeah.
probably looking at the same page. But that's interesting. The marine tracker is definitely interesting.
Yeah, shiptracker.shodan.io. Just waiting for it to load. Unable to connect. It might not be up. That was from 2 years ago. So, yikes.
But yeah, both Vessel Finder and marinetraffic.com are both accessible. But that's and it's really cool once you look, say, like inside the U.S. and see some of the things going up, like the Mississippi, you know, and going up and down rivers, because we primarily think of ships as out to sea.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that kind of visualizes, oh yeah, we still have freaking big rivers too. So,
Oh yeah.
Largest river in the world.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Okay. All right.
Next.
Score.
Okay, no clue what score means. So perfect 10.
Yeah.
Critical security vulnerabilities revealed. Are you affected?
Yeah. New critical vulnerabilities found affecting Adobe, Belkin, Bosch, D-Link, Dell, Qualcomm, WordPress. We're talking about that one later, and it's a plugin. And other products have been recorded in just this last week when a security vulnerability for them getting a perfect 10 on the CVE or CVSS scores. So goes into a little bit of how CVS scores are created, blah, 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 what they are. So to list them all out, CVE 2020 3740, memory corruption in Adobe FrameMaker, 427 or 67, another arbitrary command payload. This I'm impacting Ajax Explorer, earlier versions. I don't know what that is. 2013 one just showed up. I'm confused about this. Meanwhile, is a authentication bypass vulnerability in the Belkin N300 router that gives attackers an in using JavaScript debugging. 2020-6770, another code execution issue for Bosch mobile video service. It's used alongside some network video recording and security systems. A Bosch security advisory has been posted. And the SQL injection and D-Link, authentication bypass and sonic wall, global management, microvert Android emulator, has arbitrary command injections via shell meta characters. That's probably going to be an interesting read. Qualcomm chipsets used in video applications, and then arbitrary PHP code in status 2K 2.5 server monitoring software, and then a vulnerability in next-gen gallery WordPress plugin. Yikes. And we're going to talk about one other one that, or another WordPress plugin in a little bit here.
And to anybody listening, rarely is kind of the core WordPress engine have issues.
Yeah.
Even though we will somewhat often talk about WordPress vulnerabilities, 99 or more % of the time, it's due to a faulty plugin or misconfigured plugin. So,
Right.
Yeah. I mean, WordPress as an actual like CMS, I mean, it's pretty stable. And back in the day, it kind of sucked, but I'd say for probably about 4 or 5 years at least, they've been.
Krebs on Security, I think Krebs on Security's thing is WordPress.
Yeah, and he gets attacked pretty constantly.
I mean, he's got other crap in front of it for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah. So, yeah, that's why when I put something in the show notes, especially when it comes to WordPress, I put plug in.
Yeah.
Which is why I put it in caps. On
like Cappy.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Everything's in caps with me.
There you go.
So.
And why you're wearing a cap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Usually wearing a cap.
That's right.
All right. Next up, we have.
I mean, too much sun would, really kind of hurt that luscious hair.
Sure, we'll go with that. I just don't go outside.
Well, that's true. You're a closet vampire.
Mm-hmm. Hacker vampire. For Halloween.
He actually may be 40. He just is a vampire and he was embraced when he was 12.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Isn't that how the rules work in most vampire mythologies?
Yes.
I mean, like movie book mythologies, not actual mythologies. Vampires aren't very much like what you see on movies and TV shows.
Yes. So, Hollywood dictates yes.
But as long as they don't sparkle, I'm still happy.
God. All right. So next up, we have TDD to RCE to the POD with an EOL. So patch your shit fast. Anyway, so the resurrection of PHP unit RCE vulnerability. So PHP unit is used for test-driven development for PHP. It's your unit test framework. So get that out of the way now. It goes and tests your code.
Everybody, make sure you are testing your units. Just public service announcement. Yeah, test the unit.
All right. So apparently, for some reason, they are like my security updates have been weird. Like they're pulling stuff out of like forever ago. But someone did a study on this one. So on this CVE goes all the way back to 2017. So
holy crap, why are we talking about
it? So here's the reason. So as part of a study carried out by Imperva, we observed around 9 million attack attempts to exploit CVE 2017-9841. As one of the most exploitable CVEs of 2019, we came to wonder why this old vulnerability had been resurrected and why it had become so popular among attackers. There we go. Attacks.
Hey, they think like me.
Attempts by year. 2019, around 7 million in the last 6 months. So from like July onward, and then 2020, 2 million.
Sorry, Shane just said I'm testing my unit now. Hubba hubba. Thank you, Shane. I was hoping somebody would react to that.
Oh boy. And it seems like it's ramped up a bit as well. So, or about 1 million attacks a month. So around 2 million attacks in January of this year. So we saw 70% of the attacks were conducted between the last 2 months of 2019 and January. So November, December, January was 70% of 9 million attacks. So essentially what this does is it goes in and it's an RCE vulnerability. So you give it some malicious PHP code on a production server, and then it's like, hey, do this. So the study goes into what they were able to see. So if you are utilizing PHP unit and you have this in your environment anywhere, update your stuff. It's been 3 years. As the guys would say, I wasn't even born yet.
Yes, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
Fix your stuff. I've got that internet aging issue where I age as fast as things do on the internet.
Yeah, Caprico was born whenever the minimum internet speed was 10 meg.
I actually want to look at that now. No, mine was much. Yeah, it was much slower, but
You're like, no, mine was much faster.
we just had Cat 5 ran through the house when we built it.
Nice.
So, and then Wi-Fi became a thing. So then it was like, oh well, we don't really use this for everything. And I'm like, okay, still gonna LAN it.
Exactly. Okay, what? Oh, next up, that WordPress plugin.
Yes. All right, WordPress plugin vulnerable to me, and that's a hello world to RCE. Updating our XP boxes at work is not in the budget. God. Oh.
Well, the only thing I gotta say, Dr. AMG, is that I would be punching up my resume and looking for something else.
Run.
Yeah. Go find somebody who has a freaking budget.
Please. God. XP.
There are so many companies these days who have a budget, because, and I hope you are joking. If you are, that's awesome, excellent. If you're not, yeah, find somewhere else.
All right. So from Ars Technica, and this article is written by Dan Gooden. Gooden. Hackers exploit critical vulnerability found in approximately 100,000 WordPress sites. So the flaw is in Theme Grill plugin that lets attackers wipe sites clean and possibly take them over.
Nice.
So hackers are actively exploiting this vulnerability, which allows them to completely wipe all website databases and, in some cases, seize complete control of affected sites. The flaw in the Theme Grill demo importer installed on more than 100,000 sites, and it was disclosed over the weekend by a website security company, WebArcs. By Tuesday, WebArcs reported that the flaw was under exploit with almost 17,000 attacks blocked so far. Hanno Bach, a journalist who works for golem.de, also spotted active attacks and reported them on Twitter, and his Twitter feed is there. He basically just says, even if you want to update this, just freaking remove it. It's bad. So hello cruel world in the article. The hello world message is the default placeholder displayed on WordPress sites, and the theme grill vulnerability in hopes of the exploit of the theme grill vulnerability is in the hopes of gaining administrative control over affected websites, and website takeovers often occur when a vulnerable site has an account with the name admin. So go update your stuff if you want your website to actually be there. Sounds like from what this is the bug stems from a authentication bypass where it's not actively checking if the user is authenticated the correct way to actually perform these actions. So not even bypassing authentication to use it. It's more of like, are you actually authorized to do this? So they're bypassing the authentication right away and giving a specific string of code and just saying, hey, yeah, I'm admin.
Well, of
Do
course
this.
you are. I had no way to validate that you aren't.
Exactly. So yeah, that is a WordPress plugin vulnerability for Theme Grill Demo Importer.
Theme Grill Demo Importer.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, our good old vulnerabilities of the week. Caprico probably hit on that from that one article, probably like 95% of everything in here. That is an exaggeration, but it's the US CERT. If you guys work in or gals work in InfoSec, sysadministration, network administration, it's a good reference. We have it on the show notes. Check it out on a weekly basis. Make sure your stuff is staying updated. Patch your stuff. If you're in networking, even more so, patch your stuff, because I know you as a network engineer or administrator hate patching. It still needs to happen. So patch your stuff, keep it up to date, get that ICS stuff updated. Just get out to patching, make sure it's a regular occurrence.
And a lot of those perfect 10 vulnerabilities that were mentioned in that article before are in this. So if you need more information there, highly recommend going and looking at that, please. And also patch your shit.
Yeah, and definitely use that as a
Where
resource. They consistently update it, on a weekly basis. So you can always be aware of all those CVEs and kind of those high priority ones. Next up, I don't really want to cover this one, but
I do want to point out real quick, if you are a web developer and you are using it looks like Ruby and Node.js and a couple other JS platforms, there's a couple of big ones that came out. So HTTP request smuggling for Node.js, trailing whitespace in HTTP headers allows you to bypass authorization based on header value comparisons. And for the Ruby side, there's an auth vulnerability for the Omni auth-Weibo-OAuth2 gem, and it includes a code execution backdoor that was inserted by a third party. So get rid of that, please.
Yeah, get rid of anything that's been inserted to you by a third party.
And then Qualcomm's still getting hit like a mother.
Always.
Oh my god. And then there's a couple other ones with WordPress itself. Yeah, so WordPress itself has an issue at a 7.5, but then there's a couple of other ones, like that gallery app is in there as well. That was mentioned, as well as a W3 total cache plugin has a remote PHP code execution vulnerability.
Total cache plugin. That sounds like one that I would like.
CACHE. It's for caching web pages. Because WordPress, I don't think natively caches. Maybe it does. Weird. Why would you have? I'm wondering what this is.
No, I don't think it does.
Weird. Don't know what it is. All right. So that's the vulnerabilities of this week. A lot of 10s. Go have fun if you're a researcher. Change your default passwords to at least admin123. That's some advice from Dr. AMG on YouTube.
Oh man.
I mean, what is that?
And two, if you
5?
can move or change the admin to another username, that's even better.
Please.
Changing the username just from the default. Obviously change the pass too, but changing the username from the default is going to help immensely.
What's that up, Trez?
Yeah.
Trez is in YouTube.
His internet is probably amazing again.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and breach this and discuss this momentarily, I guess. Trump may have offered Assange a pardon if he helped cover up the Russian hack.
Really?
Since somebody
no,
added
that's
this
not-
to the
that's-
show notes, and the only reason I said I want to discuss it real quick is because there is zero information substantiating anything that's being claimed in this or similar articles. I think The Guardian was the first one who had an article, and then there's been spiderwebbed off a shit ton of them since.
Spiderfoot?
Spiderweb.
Spiderfoot?
Sure.
I mean, the only thing this whole article is about is that a former congressman said that he would speak to Trump if Assange would come forward with information about who provided the leaks of the DNC emails.
Yeah.
And that's about the extent of it.
Yeah, but with it, the articles are trying to say that Trump was saying he would not expunge, but what's the appropriate phrase?
He would give
pardon.
Yeah, that he would pardon Assange and all these other things that are just becoming incredibly outlandish. And this, I think, dropped today, becoming very outlandish very quickly without any type of factual information that I've been able to find.
The standard media.
Yeah.
Too much.
Yeah. One of those things, I didn't necessarily want to discuss it on here, but I hopefully I'm perfectly fine addressing things if there's factual information to back it up. But whenever it's just complete crap, it's fiction in my book. And I don't care if it's Trump, Democrats, whoever.
Right.
If there's no information to be able to substantiate it, I could care less to read it.
Right. It's just somebody was talking out their ass. They spoke out of turn, and yeah, it didn't go nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just want to be clear on like the scope of or the devastation that is this sentencing. If Assange appears in court in the U.S., he will face 18 charges, including conspiracy to commit computer intrusion, which could total a sentence of 175 years.
Yeah,
Stay where you're at.
and even that I'm not necessarily a big fan of, because as well as I know, he wasn't the one behind a computer accessing information.
Yeah, no.
Well,
you get
I mean,
or at least stealing the information.
but he still received classified information and he passed it along.
What's the difference between that
Yeah,
and
but
a
he's
regular
not
news
American
reporter
citizen.
doing
You
it?
can't call that treason. And don't journalists do that as well?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he claimed he can't have it. He can't have it both ways. He can't on one hand be, I'm a journalist and I will go to jail to protect my sources, to I'm not a journalist. I don't understand why I'm under duress.
Pretty much, he can't Takashi 6ix9ine it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, he
Yeah.
doesn't have enough dirt on everybody else to be able to do that.
He probably doesn't know anyone. There's probably no way for him to contact anyone at this point, or like he probably doesn't know any names.
Where's he actually at now? Is he in?
I think he's still in holding at Scotland Yard.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I mean, because there's high probability British would send him out for or extradite him.
No, they don't want to because there's one thing that hasn't been taken off the table yet.
What?
Death penalty?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wait, from us?
yeah,
Really?
yeah.
I mean, okay,
It's on the table.
interesting. I didn't realize they were classifying it as that high, huh?
I mean,
Was
it's all.
any
But I mean,
were any soldiers or anybody attacked due to information that he released, or did anybody die? I guess not necessarily just soldiers, but did anybody die due to information that was released?
I mean, it's the Manning leaks. It's the DNC emails, and they're all going to get rolled into one. I mean, you on one hand have Democrats pissed off, and you have Republicans pissed off. So it's for what they it's bipartisan of let's make an example of this motherfucker.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I
Right.
did not realize it had gone. Justin just said that Chelsea Manning is back in jail. I didn't know that either.
Hmm.
I don't care about that dude.
Okay, what do we have next? Pigeons and MAGA hats set loose in Las Vegas ahead of Democratic debate.
Yeah, when I first saw this, I first thought it was like, oh, this must be an Onion article or Babylon Bee. Then I looked down, oh no, it's New York Post. Shit. Apparently, though, somehow getting hats to stay on these birds' head. That's my only big concern. They also apparently have one that has like a Trump toupee on.
I would think like a hot glue gun. You know, that
Really?
should work,
No,
right?
no, I mean,
No.
What? You guys don't want to do that? I think it'd work.
Oh, what was it? Somewhere they did something. It was maybe you watch the movie Scrooge.
Which
I think
one?
they were
There's like
using-
1,000, aren't there?
Well, the
No, the
movie
one
called
with Bill
Scrooge
Murray.
Bill Murray.
Oh yeah.
Did they use like nails or a staple gun to try to put?
No. They threatened they were going to, but then the Karen Allen character, she got all up in arms and said it's cruelty to animals.
But yeah, I guess the idea is to have a bunch of birds with MAGA hats sitting on Democratic debates, or the people I guess coming in and out of whatever venue they're using.
You know, they should have used like geese, because they should be starting their migration here soon. Even though, at least here in Ohio, we have some ass backwards geese who didn't realize they were supposed to go south and have been here all freaking winter. But can you imagine like a V of geese just like with MAGA hats on, flying in formation?
Now remember those ones that don't migrate. That means somebody's been feeding them.
Mm-hmm.
No, it wasn't me. But
we
yeah,
have,
they're a pain in the ass.
We have a guard goose at the office that I work at, and
Yes, they're assholes.
No. He's chill actually. He will just stand outside the door and just be like, "What's up?" And then I'll just walk by him. It's like, "Hey, dude, just keep going. You shit on the carpet again?" Yep. Okay.
Holds the door for you so you can tailgate in.
Oh, dude, if I had a pet InfoSec goose.
Yeah, actually, as I was saying that, I got an image in my head of you, Cappy, like with a leash on a goose, like walking it into a building. I think,
Downtown New York.
yeah, I think you could do it.
I have to train the goose. I have more luck training a dog to do it.
I don't know. Sounds like you're already pretty, you're 3/4 of the way with that current goose. You
Yeah.
could probably adopt him.
Well, he moved. He
The
hasn't
geese
come
used to have it- I use Southeast and down at the park, community park in New Albany. They're not particularly aggressive. They shit all over the place, but they're not particularly aggressive.
Well, when I worked security, I was at this one site, and there was this ginormous lake in the middle of it. But during nesting season, those geese can be pretty assholish.
Mm-hmm.
Get away from my eggs. But they make the best omelets.
Do they? I don't know. I've never had
Goose egg.
I have chicken. I may have had duck eggs before. I don't quite recall.
Yeah, I like duck eggs. I was joking there. I actually haven't had goose eggs, but aren't goose eggs bigger than like a chicken egg?
They're
Yes.
like that big.
Yeah, I thought they were bigger. Yeah. So I'm sure it'd make a pretty good omelet.
Yep. Another thing I didn't put in the show notes, but figured I'd mention it. Darknet Diaries has posted their newest episode this week, yesterday, and it details the events of the coal fire stuff.
Mhm.
And he got both of the guys on to do an interview.
Nice.
It is very good, very well done. Actually shed some light onto what was going on and all this other stuff. So it is very good.
Nice.
And now I'm just seeing the fact that in the article it says the political flap comes as 6 Democratic presidential candidates gear up for a debate on Wednesday. They include Senator Elizabeth Warren, Amy Klobuchar, and Bernie Sanders. Yikes.
Nice.
Just imagine walking in and they're just like pants, their suits are just covered in bird shit. That'd be awesome, actually.
Fun.
Bernie
time.
just walks in and they're just stuck to his arms.
You're like, hey, you like my new white suit?
Yeah. Gross.
See, if they had Tulsi in the race still, well, actually, she is still in the race, still technically, but let's face it, she's not really in the race. She usually wears a white suit, so you might not be able to tell.
Who?
Tulsi. No, to say it exactly. Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah, she's fairly low on the list. We had one more thing on here, and I did have one or two things I wanted to mention after, but North Korean government malicious cyber activity.
Yeah. So, Jack, you threw this one in here, right?
Yeah, this is just going to be the little quick rundown of it. So, Hidden Cobra, aka the North Korean government. These are just malware analysis reports of everything from and I really love the names of these malware. Bistro Math, Slick Shoes, Product Flounder, Hot Croissant, Artful Pie, Buffet Line, and Hoplite, which is an update from the one that was released October 31st. So all these were released Valentine's Day, and it's just good reading and FYI for your information.
Nice.
Hoplite sounds cool. Although I'm thinking of Hoplite Plite instead of Plight, where that's the Greek. They should have named it that. Just looking at one of them here. Malware and analyst report resulted in DHS, FBI, DOD working blah, 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 blah. Submitted files, got the SHA, the additional files, IPs, findings. So it's a Trojan, and they have YAR rules there. This is actually kind of cool. Read, write, remove files, enumerate system drives, create and terminate processes, inject into other processes, create, stop, and start services, modify register settings, connect to your remote host, upload and download documents. Begin version of command codes, get OS version, open, sends back registry keys, system info, kill process, set current directory, get current directory, keep alive. Sounds like a rat.
It does sound like a rat.
Hey, welcome, Frank.
Hey, thank you.
They also have functions in here too, or low-level low functional code. Huh. Cool.
There we go.
I've got some reading to do.
weedy. Okay, so don't have it on the show notes, but just real quick, RSA was acquired this week from Dell for about $2 billion.
Very.
So that's not a small dollar amount. I don't know anybody who's still utilizing any type of an RSA technology.
Sales? Or is that different?
Well, and the conference went along with it.
Yeah, that's why I'm like.
So, yeah, I mean, people are going to go to RSA. I think attendance this year is going to be super low due to Kung Flu, coronavirus. But people will still be there. But just
Kung Flu.
Kung Flu.
I did.
I like the term Winnie the Flu.
Everybody's got Kung Flu, i.e.
There's been a couple songs made about coronavirus already. I probably
Really?
posted them in that Corona Chan thread of mine.
Nice.
At least maybe one of them.
But yeah, I think it is a venture capitalist company who acquired it. We've been seeing venture capitalist companies acquiring quite a few security companies here recently over the last year or so. And I think that's who it was today. Yeah, key fobs, Dr. AMG.
Yeah, but haven't those
how-
been busted
Yeah.
like forever ago?
Yeah, and there's so many other way less expensive options now that people are moving to. Unless somebody's still just like not willing to upgrade, there's a lot of alternatives. 15 years ago, there weren't that many alternatives. Now there's a shit ton of alternatives. So
Yeah.
and then the other thing I wanted to bring up real quick, ICANN. So every year, kind of East Coast, West Coast does a. Liz, are you on? And listening and available to talk?
I am.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Okay, thanks, Frank. But yeah, Liz, ICANN. Are you familiar with what happened over the last week and a half to 2 weeks?
Sorry, I've just been kind of in and out doing chores. More context?
In regard to the yearly, taking the keys out of the safe.
Oh, I read headlines saying that they couldn't open the safe.
Correct.
So that's their ceremony during regular ceremony to change the finding keys was postponed.
Yep. So they do a ceremony every year, and it's kind of like East Coast, West Coast type of thing. I think it was West Coast that essentially, yeah, like Liz said, they could not open the safe. It took them over a week to finally be able to get the safe open, to get the keys out, be able to validate the information for another year, and be able to move on. So that was kind of a interesting little occurrence whenever it comes to the kind of the big internet side.
Are we talking like digital keys?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Well, yeah, yes and no. They did have them in a physical safe that you take out, that they put in the, kind of like a lot of organizations will have like an enterprise admin account that's never been logged onto, never utilized, and they have the password for it in a safe somewhere in case something happens, because nobody else that's an enterprise admin could obviously change the password on that account. But looking past that, companies do that. Yeah, that part always boggles my mind. You have a DA account or EA account where you store the password in a safe, and you think that there's no chance that, you write the password out on paper and put it in a safe. And any other EA or DA can change that password. What is the point? But okay, that's my little milk box rant for the milk carton rant for the week.
I would almost call that the oh shit password.
Yeah, and that's what it is. It's essentially supposed to be used for restorative types of purposes, if ransomware to occur, this and that. So essentially DR. Anybody else have anything you want to address this week? Charles, Liz.
Well, just
Oh, see, Charles, there. I knew it. I had a feeling.
What?
That you had something.
Oh,
you've been quiet for about a half hour, and that's a long time for you. So
yeah, that is a long time.
Yeah.
For moi. Yeah, just getting everything else ready for tomorrow. But coming up, and so just so you know, I got my talk accepted to B-Sides Charm. So super excited about that.
Good.
This would be
looking awesome, Charles.
Thank you. This will be my first con. This will be my first con talking. This will be my first time talking at a B-Sides ever.
Okay.
So this is huge for me. So super excited about that. Also, again, tomorrow, just a heads up, if anybody's not busy, they come check out the stream on OSET, and it's just from part one, offensive OSET, and like I said, it's from anybody. You don't have, no matter what level that you're on, whether you feel like you're a beginner or noob, or you just don't know anything, or you're just curious about OSET, definitely check it out. I'll definitely be tweeting out the link for and of course the time as well tomorrow on Twitter for the Twitch stream. But and also too, I just want to say that I'm super proud of you guys, man. You guys are truly awesome, man. I know I'm in my thank you tour, but no, you guys are truly awesome, man. We get to do this and hang out every week, man. I really appreciate it and I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm fond of you too.
That is all I have to say.
Oh yeah, I did have one other thing. And Darren, you may be familiar with this. So I've gone through kind of like on the freeware side, a couple different backup utilities for ESX here recently. I went through Nikivo or Nikivo, whatever the pronunciation is, Veeam and Unitrends. And I know there's a lot of hate out there for Unitrends for back in the day. But honestly, at least me, Unitrends now, and this is not like a paid endorsement. This is just me using it. Unitrends now, they don't put any limitations on socket, CPU, systems, anything like that. From a freebie kind of freemium perspective, you can get up to a terabyte or backup up to a terabyte worth of data, which is nice. And most home labs, that works. The interface works pretty well. I've had no issues with it. Whereas with Nikivo, I think there were definitely some limitations, and I had some bugginess here and there. And Veeam, for me, just didn't work as well as Unitrends. So if any of you guys do home lab and you do backup, and you are looking for some type of solution for like Hyper-V, ESX, or what's that other one? Not Nutanix.
Nutanix or something.
It's another. It starts with an M, but it's another hypervisor that I think is more so a paid solution. I don't know if anybody uses it on a free side, but check it out. I like it. I've been thoroughly, and the deduping. Holy crap! Like my backups are like a quarter of the original size, if not less. So, and you can do incremental and differential. I do differentials, but yeah, it's pretty slick, especially for not having to pay a penny for it. That's all I got. Anybody else got anything for this week?
I got nothing. Nothing. So do you guys go through the links I put in there and be like, who posted this? And then nobody said anything, and it was me all the time, but I wasn't there.
I just read all of them.
Oh, nice.
Oh, there were links? Oh, you mean the ones that we deleted out? Yeah, those links. Oh, yeah.
You deleted my links? No!
I do like sausage links, though. You know, those
I heard about you liking sausage.
links. Yeah. you need to complete your phrase. Yes. Okay. If there's nothing else, Adrian, I think we're about done for the week.
Okay. Well, thanks for everybody for joining us, and we'll catch y'all next week. Hope everybody had a good time.
Windows notifications out.
There you go. This program sucks. Notice.